lots of obstacles we have. Actually, the one Caesar is abolished before settlement. So TTIP, TTP, what's going on? We don't know. And also based upon this US election, this TTP will be heavily influenced by this American presidential election, right? So now we try to get in the first slide. What is the Trans-Pacific Partnership? Okay, TPP actually signed on February 4th, 2016, and as you know, for trade and business investment in total of 12 countries, this like this, and listed the 12 countries here. And the bottom line is not joined yet. Several Colombia, Philippines, Taiwan, South Korea decided but not joined yet. And Indonesia is not in this list. So they're going to, in future, they're going to, so ASEAN countries will support we join this TTP, if TTP will going to succeed to contract, right? Then I'm going to show you they organize 30 chapters and aim to just explain that promote economic growth, support the creation and retention of jobs, enhance innovation, productivity and competitiveness, raise living standard, reduce poverty in signatory countries, and promote transparency and good governance and enhance labor and environmental protection. But actually against people is sort of different different thinking about for those issues. So I'm going to also show you the against opinion content. And then market size is 800 million people, and the GDP is 40% of world GDP. And the current trade 1.5 trillion in good, the service is double, is service not double, one fifth of 250 billion in services. Fact will last 20 years. I didn't know, maybe we didn't know that, 20 years. And this is I just told you just double. All sectors including e-commerce, financial services, and the internal communication will be affected by the TPP. And this I'm going to show this video because this is very well summarized. So we had better have a look at this one. This short video.
Today we're going to take a look at the Trans-Pacific Partnership, potentially the largest trade deal in history, also known as the TPP. There are so many little points to negotiate that talks have been ongoing for 10 years. The 12 countries involved are looking to strengthen their economies by linking them together, and they're already pretty strong, accounting for a combined 40% of global GDP. If it all goes into full effect, it'll build on and supersede a network of past trade deals, like the North American Free Trade Agreement between Canada, the United States, and Mexico. Trade between nations will be boosted by eliminating many tariffs and other methods countries often use to protect domestic industries from outside competition. Examples of protected markets are beef and cars in Japan, the dairy and sugar industries in the United States, and state-owned enterprises like Chile's largest copper company and the Vietnamese telecommunications service. Along with eliminating barriers to trade, to create a fair playing field for competing businesses, all countries involved will have to meet certain negotiated standards, like environmental protections that ban trading in endangered species and illegal logging, or enhanced labor standards, like the right to form a union, the abolition of child labor, and banning workplace discrimination. Here the Obama administration is incentivizing governments to create more responsible social policies in exchange for stronger economic ties with America and some of its closest trading partners. At home, Obama has received pushback from Democrats in Congress concerned the deal would be bad for American workers. They want guarantees the U.S. will enforce rules preventing foreign companies from flooding the U.S. market with goods and services that undercut products made in the good old U.S. of A. Another big criticism is that certain proposed patent and copyright rules in the deal could keep the cost of medicine around the world higher than it should be. Some say the North American agreement negotiated by President Clinton resulted in the loss of hundreds of thousands of American jobs. That may be true, but in the 6 years after NAFTA was enacted, the United States created 2 million jobs each year. So it seems NAFTA helped to retool the U.S. economy to produce more higher value goods and services, and that the TTP would continue this trend. And by opening new international markets to service and high-tech businesses in the United States, already a huge source of private job growth in the US economy, should see even more expansion. Projections have the TPP increasing American economic output by more than $100 billion a year. But more money, more problems. One of the biggest challenges has been to make sure income gains through globalization are spread to all Americans, instead of just going to the top, investing class. The elephant in the room in all of this is China, which isn't involved in the talks. That's because one of the main objectives of the deal is to offset the power of China by strengthening North America's connection to several of China's neighbors. And the deal has been crafted in a way to eventually include others, like South Korea, Indonesia, the Philippines, Taiwan, Laos, Colombia, and Thailand. But until then, an initial agreement still must be finalized.